Hey guys! I've never been so excited to do a video for YouTube in so long, but I feel like it's been forever since I've talked to you guys, and man, a lot has happened in our world. So let's go ahead and talk about some things. Alright, so the first thing I want to tell you is you're going to be getting your packets this week. If you haven't gotten them already in the mail, that I believe what I heard is that they're being mailed out the beginning of this week, which is the week of the April 20th through the 24th. So that you were using the address that was on file with the school. So if you moved, then you need to make sure that you contact the school and let them know so that we can change the address, or let me know and I can get that information changed for you, because you're not going to get the packet. So you're going to receive a packet, and it's going to be an 8th grade packet. This is just the algebra section of the 8th grade packet. But in that one packet, it's going to have an English section, a science section, an algebra section. There's going to be an 8th grade math section. You don't need to do that section, okay? And then there's also going to be a social studies section, history. So it says in this section, obviously, if you're not in Miss Hogg's algebra class, then skip the section. I believe in the packet that you receive, it should also have instructions on how to submit your work from the first packet that we gave you, the first 2 weeks we were out. What I was told is that they're going to have bins out in front of the school at some point. There's going to be a 7th grade turn-in bin and an 8th grade turn-in bin. So whenever that is put there, then you guys can go and drop those off at any time, and that's your completed packets from the first packet we put out. This packet right here, those will be collected at a later date, and also for my class, you can have the option to turn them in electronically if you would like. So you should have submitted your quiz from Unit 9 and your test from Unit 9 on that answer form that was on Google Classroom. And starting May 11th, that's when you're going to see that there's going to be an answer form on Google Classroom for this packet. So let's just look at this right quick. You don't need to do this until you get your packet, or unless you want to print it off the Google Classroom whenever it's uploaded there. I believe it's supposed to be uploaded there Monday or Tuesday of this week, I'm hoping. So anyways, this is all stuff you know about Remind. Now let's look at this. It's a big change, okay? Tuesdays are going to be your math days. That's the only day that we want you to be doing math. We want you to divide up the days of the week with different subjects. So I believe Monday is ELA, Tuesday is math, and then Wednesday and Thursday I might have mixed up, but one is science and one is social studies. So that we're helping your parents and you out with being organized on when to do what work, what days, and when is Zooming and what days. We will only Zoom on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is all math. So if I were you, I would work on this on Tuesday, rewatch this video or something on Tuesday, and then Zoom with me at 3 p.m. every Tuesday. I know that's late in the afternoon, but it gives us time to do the work. Or you can watch this video. This video will be uploaded every Monday, just so that you have it, okay? What I want you to do by Tuesday at 3 o'clock is I want you to have watched this video and done the work for that week, so that at Tuesday at 3 o'clock we can talk about what questions you have. If you haven't done that yet, when we Zoom, you're going to be so lost and it's not going to be beneficial to you. And I really need you guys to be at that Zoom meeting, because that is where we get instruction. So if you're not doing it, then that's not a good thing. And we don't really know a lot yet about how this is going to be graded, but we do know that the school district has, the school board has implemented a grading system, and they're still working out the details of that, so I'll let you know. But I do want you to know that your work will be counted for something, okay? So if you haven't done anything, that's not good news for you. You probably will fail this 9 weeks. So you need to do something. You gotta put some effort in here, because I have to show that you guys are showing mastery. And if you're not doing anything, if I haven't received anything from you in Google Classroom, or you haven't been on any Zoom meetings, or you're not doing this work, it's really hard for me to tell you that you have. And so I'm going to have to tell you. Now, I would hate to do that, but that's what I've been told. Okay? So you really still need to do with it. Stick with me. Even though school is not technically in session anymore, that doesn't mean that we're not doing school. School is still in session. That just means that the campuses are closed the rest of the year. But we still have to cover school, and if we don't, then we have to make it up, which we don't want to do. So when you flip over, you're going to see that has week 1. This is all that you want to do for week 1. We're going to watch my YouTube lesson video. That's the one you're watching right now. It's posted today, April the 20th. And then do only A, B, and C. I lettered my pages in case the printer, when they put all the subjects together, made it in numbered order. This is lettered. Each section has a letter. So you're going to see. So let's look here. There's an answer document. I have an error here. I copied over the answer document name at the top from my pre-algebra packet. So just mark off pre. It's algebra. This is your algebra supplement. But this is all correct. Okay, so you can record your answers in this paper answer form, or you're going to have one like this. It's going to be on Google Classroom as a Google Doc May 11th. So either way, if you prefer doing it in paper and you want to turn it in paper, you can do it here, or you can do it on Google Classroom. Okay, but we're going to do sections A, B, and C. That's what this week is, A, B, C. Alright, and here is this is what you would get if you were taking the EOC. You would get these formula charts, okay, and then this is our guide that we learned, just to help you remember what is what. It's kind of algebra review. So let's go ahead and start with, this is page A. See at the bottom here, it says A. That's the page letter, if you will, since it's not a number. We're going to start with this page. We're going to do this page, page B, and page C for this week. I'm not doing every problem with you, but I will show you some examples so that you can do the rest on your own. Don't be scared. This is going back to the beginning of the year, but it's not hard. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. G of x equals negative 3x plus 1. Well, what should you say in your head when you see anything of x? G of x, f of x, j of x, y, f of x, L of x, anything of x is going to be, it's the same as y equals, right? So what this is just a function telling you y equals negative 3x plus 1, alright? So we have three functions here. We have a g of x, an f of x, and a j of x. We're going to start with problem A. Problem A says, what is g of 10? So this g here tells us which of these three functions we are going to complete. And we're going to plug in, this is your x, okay? Because it's g of x, okay? So that's your x. We're going to plug in a 10 for x into this function. So I'm going to rewrite it. Negative 3 times 10, because I'm plugging in 10 for x here, and we're using this function because this says g of 10. On this function, you'll use, on f of 3, which is this next problem, you'll use this function. On j of 2.5, you'll use the j of x function, okay? So that's how you know which function to use. So back to this function here. This is g of 10, so we're just using the g of x function up here. Negative 3 times 10, because that's your x, plus 1. Solve that using PEMDAS. So we're going to say negative 3 times 10 is negative 30, plus 1 is a negative 29. That is your answer. Okay? And then B says f of 3. We're going to use the f of x function here. And we're going to sub in 3 for the x. So 3 squared plus 7 equals, so 3 squared is 9, plus 7 is 16. That is your answer. Please circle your answers, and please show your work. It would just help you map that out so you don't get confused. I'm not going to do any more in this section. Down here, you'll know, find x if g of x equals 16. It's the same thing. G of x equals 16. So it wants us to find x. Okay, it's kind of working backwards. So now we're going to go up here and we're going to use g of x. It says g of x is 16. So we're going to say 16 equals negative 3x plus 1. Now we're solving for x. Because look, what I just did was they said g of x is 16. So now I'm going to go back to my g of x equation and put in 16 here where it says g of x. And we're trying to get x here. Okay, so you say we just solve for x. So what's added or subtracted first? So we're going to subtract 1, move that over here. That cancels out. This becomes 15 equals negative 3x. And then we're going to divide each side by negative 3. And we find out that our x is negative 5. Okay? So that's how you do those. Alright? Alright, in this section, this is in a lot of your builders, so this should be pretty good for you guys. You should get this. F of x is equals negative, let me start over. F of x equals 3 minus 4x. Fill in the table and sketch a graph. So, f of x equals 3 minus 4x. Alright, I'm going to write that up here above my table. So, because I'm going to be referencing that equation for all of this to find out this answer. So, if I know x is negative 2, I'm going to plug in a negative 2 into this function, and I'm going to solve for my f of x, which is the same as my y, right? So, 3 minus 4 times negative 2. Negative 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. So, when x is negative 2, f of x, or y, is 24. Okay. Alright, I did that one wrong, guys. I thought this was a times. It is a minus. Gosh. That's how, seriously. I was like, that's a really big number for y. That's fine. Okay, so it ends up being, this is 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8. So minus a negative 8, or you could say plus 8. So it's 11. My bad. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 goes there. Alright, so then we'll do this next one. 3 minus 4 times negative 1. Well, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So 3 minus a negative 4 is the same as 3 plus 4, positive 4, and that's going to be 7. And then you'll just keep doing that. You plug 0 in for x, get your y. Plug 1 in for x, get your y. And down here, you're going to plug in, you're going to start from, this is your y, or your f of x. Negative 9 equals 3 minus 4x. You'll solve for x there and put it there. Then you'll have coordinate pairs now. Negative 2, 11. So you can go negative 2 on the y, x-axis, sorry, x, 2, and then up 11. Up here. Okay. Negative 1, 7. And then you'll just start plotting your points, because that's what these are. These are coordinate pairs. Negative 2, 11, negative 1, 7, 0, comma, whatever you get there, 1, comma, whatever you get there, and then whatever you get for x, and negative 9. Those are coordinate pairs. Okay, so then you can plot them. Alright, so let's go to page B. Page B. Now we don't have a chart, but we can still plot the numbers. Okay, so translate the following statements into coordinate points and plot them. Oh, this is pretty easy. So if it's f of x equals 1, that's the same thing as saying y equals 1, right? So let's make a chart here. Alright, so if y is 1, because that's what it says here, x is negative 1. tells us that's your x right there, -1. So x is 2, y is 7. And go down, x is 1, y is -1. X is 3, y is 0. So now, these are your new coordinate points. -1, 1, 2, 7, 1, -1, and 3, 0. You can plot all those on this graph. Okay? Alright, number 4. Given this graph has the function f of x, blah, 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 find blah, blah, blah. Okay. We don't know the function yet. Okay? And we can look at this graph over here and see that it is a function. It passes the function line test, but it's a weird line. Okay? It's got some curvatures to it. So we don't know the function yet, but we can find f of -4. So what this means is f of x. Alright? So at -4, what is your y? When x is -4, what is y? So let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. X is -4 here. This is where x is -4 on the line. What's the y? It's 2. So the answer is 2. You're trying to figure out what the y is. Okay? So when x is 0, what is y? Also 0. Can you do this one? When x is 3, what is y? I want you to do that one. And then down here, f of -5 equals e. When, oh, we have a typo here. Okay. I think this is supposed to say x, this is supposed to be x. F of -5 equals whatever. And then e is the next problem, x, when f of x is 2. Alright, so f of -5, when x is -5, what is y? Y is 0. Okay. And then what is x when y equals, that's the same thing as f of x equals, when y is 2. So when y is 2, 1, 2, what is x? Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to figure that out here. It doesn't make a pretty point. So when y is 2, x is probably going to be negative. I'm going to say 3/4. Go with that one. That one's weird. And what's x when f of x equals 0? Well, x is 0. Okay, so when y is 0, x is also 0. Alright, so now we're going to the last page this week. So it's been pretty simple so far. Swine flu is attacking Porkopolis. Interesting names here, and that's not to rub it in about the swine flu. I didn't realize that was the question here in our coronavirus world. The function below determines how many people have a swine flu, where t equals the time in days and s is the number of people in thousands. So we're going to graph the function. Well, it says s of t, but it's the same thing as f of x, which is the same thing as y equals. Okay, so it's like you're saying y equals 9x minus 4. That's what this same thing is. S of t is 9t minus 4. Okay, so y equals 9x minus 4. So we can graph the function. We always want to, when we graph a line, we always start at the b, y equals mx plus b. Where does it cross the x-intercept? The y-axis. It crosses the y-axis at -4. So that's not on this graph, but we're going to draw it in anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say it's right here. That's the y-intercept. Okay? And then this tells us the slope. It's 9/1. Okay, so you're going to go up 9. From this point, you're going to go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over 1. Put a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over 1. Put a point. Okay, see now we have a line. Okay, there you go. Now, can we find S of 4? So that means that 4 is the x, because it's S of 4, S of 4. So 4 is your x. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is going to be your y? Well, we can't tell on this graph, but there's another way we could do this. We could plug it in. Okay? We could plug in a 4 into this graph where we see the x or the t. Okay? So if 4 is our x, then we can say y equals 9 times 4 minus 4. 9 times 4 is 36, minus 4 is 32. So your S of 4 is 32. That's what your y would be. So what does S of 4 mean? What does that mean? S of 4. What does that mean? It means what is the y value when the x is 4, right? That's what that means. Find t, which is the same thing as x, when S of t equals 23. So, what we now here have is the y, okay? We're giving you the y. So we're going to say 23 equals, and we're going to plug in this formula again, 9x minus 4. So, or 9t minus 4, whatever. Doesn't matter what you use there. We're going to solve for x, and that's going to be your answer here. I want you to do that on your own, and then I want you to answer this question. What does S of t equals 23 mean? Well, we said, what is the y value when the x value is 4? Here we have the y value. We need to figure out the x value. So you can just flip that. And the last section on this page is a line on a graph. And it asks you first, is this a function? Well, the way that if you go back to your notes, the way we figure out if something is a function, we do the function line test. Is it crossing a x value twice? No. So it is a function. Okay, it is a function. And then domain, remember your domain is your x-axis, your x values. Dixie and Royd, remember? So your x values, it's going to go from here, but it says it keeps going, right? So it's going to keep going all along here, and it's going to keep going to the right. So it actually is all real numbers, because it has those arrows. It just keeps going and going and going, infinity, okay? All real numbers. And then the range, Royd, that's your y values. So we don't know where it stops going up, but it does definitely come to a point where it stops going down, and that's right there. So your lowest point is going to be -4 is less than or equal to y. -4 is greater than or equal to y. That's your range. Because, I think we have to put that in brackets. Yeah. Because y is going to be greater than, I had it right the first time. Your y values are always going to be greater than or equal to -4. Anything above it. Okay? That's your range. Alright. So I want you to do the rest of the problems we didn't do together, and then I want you to record your answers in your answer document. This second page, right here for A, B, and C, and then you're done for the week. And then and then I'll see you at Tuesday at 3 o'clock for Zoom. I'm going to send you a remind message out on that, reminding you what the code is and the password, and come with questions. And then also, I will be posting another video on Monday. So all you have to do, if I were you, I would really, really work hard on making sure that Tuesdays are your algebra day. Tuesdays is the day you do algebra. You wake up Tuesday, you watch the video that I post every Monday, okay? And then you work through that section, that week's section, on Tuesday before 3 o'clock, so that at 3 o'clock you can ask me any questions you have. We Zoom, we get questions answered, and then we're done. Okay? Alright? So, I want to end with this. I am not going to address the fact that I'm in denial that I'm not going to be able to see you guys in my classroom again. Because I will probably cry. And I'm trying not to cry right now. It's extremely difficult for me to be able to let you go to high school without me telling you bye. So, I will be telling you bye in some way. I'm working on that right now. But I do want you to know that I am extremely proud of you guys and very grateful to be your teacher. You will always be my kids. Always. Always, always, always. Even when you're 40 years old and I am 21 years older than you, I will be 61. You will be my kid. So, I promise that I do not want to take... I will be taking advantage of the time I have at home to make sure that I send you something special or do something special to let you guys know how loved you are. But that's all I want to say. I don't want to cry. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to Zooming with you at 3 on Tuesday. Bye.